Well, that's a terrible idea. I have learned that the worst thing you can do these days is to go to bed with your cell phone because you're checking it all the time. It's waking you up. Here's the thing I'm going to recommend you do. Take a listen to this presentation, but you know, the truth is you probably don't even have to listen to much because you're going to look at this and go, wait, that's the world famous Bose Wave Music System number 4 that is $500 anywhere but here today. I offered this yesterday. Oh my gosh. Over 1,000 went in one little airing. We have a couple thousand left at this crazy good price, $200 savings, because there is free shipping on top of $190 off. This is such a massive customer pick. Read reviews if you have a moment. I think there's over 1,000 highly rated reviews. I mean, really impressive reviews, because the product delivers. I think we all can agree that when it comes to great sound quality, Bose is at the top of our list because that's what they do. They master technology that brings that room-filling sound that I just hear right now in my little ears. Because Aaron, our special guest, Aaron Berger, just queued up some really soft, soothing music. I'm gonna join Aaron. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is the way to start a day, right?
This is how we do it, right? I mean, the truth is, Callie could be in the other studio still selling a back roller, and she'd be able to hear this because the sound is so huge and so beautiful. This is the Bose Wave Music System 4, as you said. The sort of bummer news about it is we have, as you guys might have heard, our final quantities. We met with the folks at the Consumer Electronics Show. We met with the folks from Bose and learned that they are not going to be able to provide us with this anymore. Just in early January we did it. So that was a bummer, but the good news is our top-selling Bose product is available now and today for you guys. It is the most extraordinary experience to sit next to a music system this size. So it is incredibly portable. It weighs about 8 pounds. It's simple to use. It plays your CDs. It plays your AM radio. It plays your FM radio. But the sound that comes out of it is truly, truly room-filling sound. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna start this song at the beginning. I'm gonna turn it up. And I always say it's the hardest thing for us to do as people who talk on TV.
Is to not
talk. So I'm gonna sit here and concentrate on opening my chest and think about my posture, because I've been watching. My posture stinks. It's terrible.
It feels so good.
Oh, does it? I was so jealous watching you do that.
Oh, you've got to try it if it's still set up. It's awesome.
It looked like a wonderful product.
It's really, really good. I might have just knocked over your water
here. I didn't know it yet.
But here's what, before we listen to more of the sound, because it really is about this, if you want the platinum, this color, there's 150.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
We have more quantity in the espresso, and I will say this, not that it matters, but here's the truth. I have this espresso in my bedroom upstairs. This is what I love because I can listen to my favorite radio stations when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, or as I'm taking a bath and relaxing. I can listen to my favorite DVD, or CDs rather. I've got a lot of CDs that I have, like from motivational speaking over the years, from a favorite minister in my life. So I love that there's a CD slot. I love that this has got the AM FM radio. I love that it's got dual alarms. Tracy and I love to wake up. We wake up at different times because we work different kinds of schedules, but you can wake up to something soft and soothing instead of that meh, meh, meh. What a terrible way to start our days. I know. It's like, no wonder we're in a bad mood when we get out of the bed.
That's right. The dual independent alarms is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So we're just gonna, I want you to just hear the quality, and then we'll talk through the Bose, the Waveguide technology, which is why this sounds so good, but just enjoy the music for a minute, okay? Ready? I don't know how, I don't know when, you will be mine, just mine, mine, I don't know how, I don't know when, you will be mine, just mine, mine, I don't know how, I don't know when, you will be mine, just mine, mine.
Oh, I love it.
Doesn't it just, it feels so good. And no matter what style music, in fact, let me just grab something out here. I don't even know what this is, but we're gonna find out.
It doesn't matter what kind of music you're into, because it all sounds, whether it's through the radio or through your DVDs or your CDs, I keep saying DVDs, it's really amazing. And we're gonna show this to you. We're gonna actually, we took one of these systems and kind of broke it apart so we can show you how Bose has created the most memorable kind of sound. I mean, distinctively different than other systems out there.
So quite different. Actually, this is a Christmas carol. Do you know this carol? It's an English carol. I love it. Nobody knows it, but
I do know this
You
song.
do know it?
Yeah.
It's Lo How a Rose Ere Blooming.
Yes. Oh, we sang in some choir in college.
It's a beautiful choral
yes.
song.
Oh.
So we'll listen.
I feel like I'm going to jump into
just
my
for
alto
a second.
version.
Oh, I wish you would. I'd love to hear a little alto line. 1, 2, 3. So whether it's your classical music or whether it's your, oh, is that something different, Ian? Oh no, that's the strings. Oh, wait, we have to listen to the strings, for the strings are so pretty. Changes everything from the horns to the strings. It changes it. So I total truth, I was a little late today. I came into the studio, Callie saw me last second, had to move something around, make sure my mic was on. And then you turn music on, and it's like, you know what, it's just life. We're all just doing our best. You know, we can just have a moment of peace with the music that we love. God, it feels good, yeah.
That's why I have this upstairs, because downstairs, I've got my Alexa, I've got my, my sound system. I wanted something upstairs that I could just have my own sound, my own music, my own radio station. I love having this just because the music is so good. It's absolutely amazing that we're doing this at this price. This has sold itself. This would sell itself at any price.
It really
would.
Once
you hear it.
Once you hear it, that's the thing.
In person.
Don't you think that? Sorry, I didn't mean to
interrupt. Because what you're hearing through the, from at your home is through our mics, through all the different waves of, technology that get to you. In person, it's even better.
And through your speakers. So the speaker that you're listening to is probably on a flat screen TV right now, a little thin speaker.
True.
You have to remember, like Callie said, it comes through our lavalier mics and into your home. We're gonna just pump things up here for a minute, and then I'm really gonna talk a lot about the Wave music system, but we're gonna do a shock to your system. We're gonna go from Lo How a Rose Ere Blooming to sort of a Latin feeling. This reminds me of West Side Story. It's not West Side Story, but it sounds like it.
Oh, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same syncopation.
Wow.
Huge sound. Talk about why it sounds like this, shall we?
Oh my gosh, this is such a great way to spend our time. I'm so glad you're with us. If you just tuned in, this is the second half of my second hour this morning. It's one of the things that is going to make your life so good, because music can do something magical, whether it's therapeutic or whether it's soothing or whether it's getting rid of some anger and rage. I mean, you listen to your music in your own space through this kind of technology. There's a huge difference between maybe what you've been listening to or what you've been listening through. Even if it's through your phone, through a little Bluetooth speaker, I'm telling you, this is a major upgrade at a fraction of the price that even we have charged in the past. So that's the good news, that you are getting at the best price However, the bad news is if you want the platinum, we've got 140 left. 140 there, almost gone. The espresso, we've got a little bit more, so you're welcome to either or, but don't miss this sale. There's free shipping. It's on 5 Flex, $62. It's yours. It's one of my favorite purchases over the years. One of my all-time favorites.
We hear that over and over again. Like you said, over 1,000 customer pick reviews on hsn.com. So listen for 1 second. We're gonna listen for 10 seconds. Okay, why does it sound like this? Now let's talk, we sort of heard what it sounds like, right? But let's talk about why it sounds like this. Dr. Amon Bose, we all know the Bose name, right? The Bose name is a name that's been around for years and years. Dr. Amon Bose started as a student at MIT, I think in the 60s. The story is he bought a clock radio for his dorm room when he was still a student. Before he was Dr. Bose, he was just Mr. Bose then, I suppose. And so Mr. Bose, pre-Dr. Bose, bought a clock radio for his dorm and got it home and said, this sounds terrible. Like, I'm a physicist. I know acoustical engineers and audio. We can do better than this. So they spent the next couple decades developing Waveguide technology, which is exclusive to Bose. It is only found in Bose Wave Music System and other Bose products. And this is what it is. We're going to look at this actually for a few minutes here. So what is this? This is a cutaway of our music system. And what you're seeing is the Waveguide technology at work. The Waveguide technology is 2 chambers, one on each side. They're each a little bit over 2 feet long, so about 5 feet in total. 2 chambers that move the sound and let it grow and amplify and attenuate in a very, very specific and patented way. It took them, again, decades to do this, so that you see those colors that are coming out? Those are representative of the myriad of sound of the treble and the mid-range and the bass range that comes out of your Bose Wave music player. So the red is indicative of your trebles. You would need, when you think of installing a music system, you think of that being your tweeter. So we're talking in orchestral tones, your piccolo or your triangle or your higher, Orff instruments, those sort of things. And then the blue is really key. That's the mid-range. The human voice is what I think of. And we're gonna listen to some vocals. Well, in fact, here's some vocals just for a sec. They say the human voice is the most complex instrument, and as a vocal guy and a vocal pedagogy guy, I believe it. It's the mid-range where you really hear that, and that's also, again, in the orchestra, you think like your French, all your middle tones, your French horns, your violins, anything in the middle of like the piano keyboard. And then we're gonna go back to that animation just for a second, because I want you to take special note of the color that's emanating everywhere.
Okay.
That is the purple. The purple is representative of the bass. And what this does, probably above anything, is produce bass unlike any you've ever heard in a system this small or this price. And notice that it's emanating not just from the front, but from all around. You feel the bass in your bones. You feel the bass in your chest when you're listening to something with a heavy bass with the Bose Wave music system. And what we can do, so we've sort of shown it to you a little bit, and we've definitely let you hear it, but what I would love to do is take a little field trip, actually, to my home, where we can, believe it or not, show you that the air moves.
Literally moves.
Literally, the air actually moves. It's not just me, like, being a TV guy saying something flowery.
No, it literally moves.
It moves in an entirely different way. So take a little field trip out to my house and then join Callie and me at the other end. We'll see you in a sec, yeah?
It's fascinating.
What is sound? Sound is air in motion. And what we've set up here is a great way for you to not only hear sound, but also to see sound. Here's how we're gonna do it. These are the speakers that are inside the Bose Wave music system. So when I take these speakers and put them in front of these candles, well, you'll see exactly what happens. And then we're gonna change things up. Then we're gonna take the magic. The magic inside the Bose Wave music system is the Waveguide technology. And this is the Waveguide technology. This is nearly 5 feet of tubing that's inside your Wave music system. It turns and moves inside that very compact, very modern system, but it changes the sound because it resonates and it echoes and it amplifies inside these chambers. So let me show you, you'll see for yourself the difference. Let's add a little bit of music. I gotta tell you, that never gets old because you can see the Bose technology at work. That's why everybody loves the Bose Wave music system. That's why it fills your room with sound in a way that nothing else does. Because that Waveguide technology changes everything. Again, sound is just air and movement, but that air can move in lots of different ways. And at Bose, we make it move in a way that's very, very special.
It's really amazing you get the kind of robust sound that you do in such a small footprint.
And you see why now,
right?
You see how that air moves.
Exactly. It's all inside. They're such a they're beautiful units. I mean, to put them on a bookshelf, they look amazing. I've got mine just sitting on my dresser underneath my TV upstairs. Sometimes I just love to just open my door and just let the music just kind of take my day away and release the stress of it. Music is pretty amazing. Music can do so much for us. It's the universal language of love. It's the one thing we can all connect on. And I just love that what we're doing here. It's not like, oh, we took the Bose and these are leftovers from the holidays and we took $50 off. We took $190 off of our price. $190 savings. And there's free shipping and there's 5 flex, 6. You've got a month. You can get it home, plug it in. This all you do is one plug into the wall and you're ready. You're ready to enjoy. Maybe it's the CDs that, you know, let's face it, it's kind of like DVDs. Do you have a place to play them?
Sure, right.
That's one of my motivators. I've got a lot of sermons.
I was talking about that last night, actually. You weren't here, but we were still talking about you. You can never leave the building. We were talking about, yeah, you talked about motivational sermons, meditation sort of things.
I've got a lot of those DVDs or CDs.
Yeah, and what, you know, what do you do? How do you play those? How do you listen to them? Also, very often people who make those sort of CDs have beautiful voices, and you want to hear their speaking voice,
right?
As though you're right there. And that's one of the things that the folks at Bose say, and I think is so incredibly true. Bose lets you hear music the way the artists intended it to be heard.
As they're in this recording studio.
That's right. We have such advanced recording equipment now. I mean, we are able to record such incredibly minute detail. I have, very briefly, my background is as a professional musician. Callie and I were talking for a second when we were off tape. I started here at the network playing the Casio keyboard. I directed music in churches and for theaters for years and years. And have been able to record in a studio only a couple of times. It is the craziest experience. I mean, they hear every breath. They hear, you know, if you pick a hair out of your head, it's like ding. It's wild. But you have to be able to hear that back on it's like a cartoon.
That was funny.
You have to hear it back on a system that can really reproduce it, right? They spend so much time, the artists and the engineers spend so much time making that music sound a certain way. What the Bose Wave Music System 4 allows you to do is hear the music the way the artist intended it to be heard. I'm gonna hush for just a minute. This is a style of music we haven't really listened to. It's this sort of cinematic, John Williams-esque in my head kind of music. And just listen, particularly the bass in this is extraordinary. You'll never hear bass like this in a system as small. So we'll take 30, 40 seconds, something like that, and just hear some music.
Yeah.
And then we're going to listen for another second. There is, I don't know how close we can get, but there's a volume right here. I want you to notice, as the volume increases, the distortion does not. It does not become more distorted.
Excellent point.
In other words, it remains clear. Very often, think about turning up a radio. Often you can kind of literally hear the plastic jangling around, right? Watch, I'm going to go up to maybe all the way to 100, and I want you to see we don't lose quality.
Wow. Woo.
I'm afraid OSHA is going to come in if we get any louder. So that's as loud as we can be.
It's so impressive. This is a huge studio. It's reaching every little corner. I mean, it's so good. when it's low and quiet, and it's so good when it's loud.
Such a good point. Doesn't have to be loud.
No.
Doesn't have to be loud.
Right.
And it's still, you still hear every little point. It's a really good
Absolutely. By the way, if you want the platinum, I'm so sorry, but we have now less than 100. Yeah, less than 100. Platinum is almost gone. It will be gone before the next few moments. We do have espresso, which is like that deep, semi-sweet chocolate chip color. That's what I have upstairs. I love it. Little detail, but it does come with that great remote control. But it's also got a touch access point right on the top of the unit. We'll show that to you too.
So let's do that. We'll show that, and then I'm going to go through these features one more time. Actually, I want to talk through each of them, and then talk about something else you can do. Actually, even expand this a little bit if you want.
What a great price this is.
It's
on
a wild.
This is a wow.
On Bose.com right now, it's $499 on Bose's own website. And again, Bose has said, we will not at HSN have any more of these to sell beyond the quantity that they've allotted to us that we have right now.
And I think between yesterday and today, we sold almost 3,000.
We have, yeah.
With now less than 100 to go around in the platinum. Again, a little more than that in the espresso, but it is, I mean, if you're ever gonna do this, do it now. Even if it's something that, maybe it'll be a wedding present for later on in the summer, or a housewarming present for somebody that's starting out in life for the first time.
You know what have been saying with this, because we know it's the last time we'll have the Bose Wave Music 4, which is our most popular product from Bose. If you're thinking about spring, like if you have events coming up for which you need music, like if you're throwing a big graduation party, you're throwing a wedding, or you're throwing a baby shower, this brings the party. Music brings the party. And a lot of our reviews specifically address, you know, I had this at my wedding reception, I didn't want to pay for a band. And look, I'm a professional musician, hire a band if you can. I want you to support local musicians. But a lot of us, we can't do that for every party we have, right? So many reviews are like, people walked in the door and said, where's that band is great. Well, it sounds so good because it's actually the original artist, and it's actually playing back in the corner on my Bose Wave music system. Cover bands are great.
Notice the reviews that we're putting at the bottom of the screen, and we'll just put a couple, but there are over 1,000. There's so many incredibly highly rated. I mean, I'm thrilled with this purchase, and these are people that have like spent almost $200.
Yeah, that's right. At $500, people are absolutely crazy about it. You know, over 1,000 people just love the Bose Wave music system so much. I showed you I was going to show you the touch top controls, and then I'm going to go back and go through the features again. So, pardon me. So you can obviously control it with the credit card style remote, like I've been doing, or isn't that easy?
That's what I do.
That's what Bobby Ray Carter's had this. She's a host that's been at HSN. Gosh,
40 years.
I was going to say.
40.
I was in her 25th anniversary show, and I was so nervous. I had just started at HSN, so yeah, it's about 40 years.
She's an icon. I love her.
Just the loveliest human.
I know,
just a wonderful. Anyway, I was with her yesterday, and she's had a Bose Wave music system for years, and was kind of like, oh, I forgot about the remote control, you know, because she always uses
I just use the touch too.
The touch just to turn things on and to turn things off.
Is there anything you want to show on the back, Aaron, for any
sure,
kind of
that's a good idea. Turn it around. Thank you, love. And then I will come over here. I'm just going to kind of, pardon me, if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to do it this way. So there's a couple of different ports. This is for if you want to put in an antenna. It's built in. You don't have to, but if you live kind of out in the country or something like that and need any sort of antenna, you can. This is called Bose Link. If you use other Bose products, this is a proprietary link that you can use. Only people who really are big Bose people would use this. This is an auxiliary in, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'm just going to hold my breath on that one, okay? Because I want to spin them in on that. This is for headphones. So if for any reason you want to plug in earbuds now, of course, you have these incredible speakers, so only plug in earbuds if you need to. But if you maybe have Bose headphones or whatever, you can plug in there. Let's talk about this auxiliary input for a minute, okay? Oh, and that's the cable.
Yeah, this is the one cable. There's one cable you plug into the back of the unit, and then the other part, plug into the wall.
That's it.
And that's set up.
I spend my life as an electronics expert, so I do a lot of electronics troubleshooting. So it's so nice sometimes to not do any electronics troubleshooting, to walk in the door and plug it in and toss in a CD and be like, I'm Aaron Berger, welcome in, we're going to talk about this for an hour. And it's going to be, nothing's going to go wrong.
90 left in platinum, 90. I'm giving you a final opportunity to get the platinum. The rest are available in espresso.
So that auxiliary slot, so the auxiliary in, let me just talk to that for a second. We can show, I'll just point to it one more time and then we don't have to look at it, but so there's a little jack in the back, right? Let me tell you what that's about. If you want to use your player to also play Bluetooth. So to play Bluetooth from your phone, from your smartphone, or from your tablet, or from your computer. Many of us want to do that. You can buy separately. It's something you would buy separately. It's called a Bluetooth receiver.
Yes.
We have typically had one called the Paul Bluetooth receiver on hsn.com.
Okay,
it's
we'll
not
check
there.
this.
It's not there right now. I checked already. However, I'm pretty sure, guys, if you look, either look up Bluetooth adapter or Bluetooth receiver on hsn.com, and there's one called the Logitech, which I personally haven't used, but it looks great. Any Bluetooth receiver, they're usually $30, $40 range, something like that. And I just mentioned that because I'm sure many of you are at home thinking, oh, I stream a lot from my phone, I stream a lot from my tablet. You can do that, but you do need to pick up a Bluetooth receiver from us or from someone else in order to do so.
Okay. I hate this part of my job because it's like, we're almost sold out of all the platinum. You're still good. If you click that put into my basket right now and check out, it's yours. If you wait another 2 minutes, I predict them to completely be gone. But the good news is that we still have the espresso, which is, I love them both. They're both absolutely gorgeous units. They are so lightweight, by the way. They weigh like 8 pounds, so you can totally move them. To your point, Aaron, of bringing the party to the party. This is something that I know you could certainly do. It is all the AM, FM radio stations. You can do your presets. It's the CD player. It's everything that you want when it comes to great music, even the Bluetooth. If you do get that receiver and play your own personal music.
If you want to pick that up separately,
on your phone.
I think it would be a good time. We're in our last 6 or 7 minutes. I think it might be a good time, if it's okay with you, Callie, to show everyone again. So we continue to listen, and there's nothing like hearing the music to make you want to Bose. And again, I'll remind you, you hear this through our lavalier mic, so you're going to hear tap, tap, tap. So it goes from there to here, through the airwaves. We're in Florida, wherever you are, and then through your little TV speakers or your little computer speakers or whatever. I think you're hearing, a certain quality, and you can probably tell that this is a great unit. It's an entirely different experience when and we have a 30-day return policy that Callie can speak to better than me.
I can't imagine anybody being unhappy with this.
Almost nobody returns Bose.
It's not like a Bose wannabe.
But I wanted to just put that in your ear to just remind you, you're not hearing it the way you will when you're sitting next to it, like you will do later. Let's show you Waveguide technology. Remember, this has patented Waveguide technology, only found in Bose products, developed by Dr. Mon Bose and his colleagues. It is in the Wave Music System 4, and we're gonna take a field trip to my home, actually, because I did a little candle demo there to kind of show you how the air moves differently. It's sort of like why we get the goosebumps. Things literally feel different when you sit next to this and when you listen to it. So join us at my home for just a second. Callie and I will see you back here in a minute. What is sound? Sound is air in motion. And what we've set up here is a great way for you to not only hear sound, but also to see sound. Here's how we're gonna do it. These are the speakers that are inside the Bose Wave Music System. So when I take these speakers and put them in front of these candles, well, you'll see exactly what happens. And then we're gonna change things up. Then we're gonna take the magic. The magic inside the Bose Wave Music System is the Waveguide technology. And this is the Waveguide technology. This is nearly 5 feet of tubing that's inside your Wave Music System. It turns and moves inside that very compact, very modern system, but it changes the sound because it resonates and it echoes and it amplifies inside these chambers. So let me show you, you'll see for yourself the difference. Let's add a little bit of music. I gotta tell you, that never gets old because you can see the Bose technology at work. That's why everybody loves the Bose Wave Music System. That's why it fills your room with sound in a way that nothing else does. Because that Waveguide technology changes everything. Again, sound is just air and movement, but that air can move in lots of different ways. And at Bose, we make it move in a way that's very, very special.
I really think that's such a fascinating demo, to be able to show how,
Isn't it cool?
you don't think about air has to move for that sound. And think about how tightly all that's interwoven in here, for lack of a better technical explanation. And then for that sound to come straight through these beautiful front speakers.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, you know, it's not a garden hose that runs through there, right? It wouldn't sound the same if it were a garden. It is this very, very complex arrangement of technology in there that lets the air move and lets it expand and lets it amplify and lets it tune so that all of your different tones, your highs and your mids and your lows, really come out in a way, again, as the artist intended, really come out in a way that is room filling. In fact, let me, I'm gonna fast forward to a different, I like that song very much, but a song we haven't listened to, and it's some good vocals. I want us to listen to some vocals for a second.
In platinum, 2 dozen.
So there's 100%, this is the last airing ever. Crazy to say, on the Wave Music System 4 in platinum. There's no question, right, that we'll sell 2 dozen. We've sold, I think, 100 or 2 of those, in this airing. Okay, so this is it for the platinum. Listen up.